born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes. The whole talk show desk right here. Turn this chair that way. Then I'd have to figure out what to do with this mic. Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet for another episode. I'm here. Amber's here this week. A couple weeks off, and I'm here with Jake. Welcome, guys.
Jake's not as nervous.
Not as nervous this time. Second time doing it.
Well, when Jake was in here, it was Jake. I kept saying, I said I combined their names, Zach and Jake.
Jack.
And I said Jack to start. I was like, wait a minute. No, I have two different people, Zach and Jake.
We got combined last week.
Yes. So yeah, we welcome you guys in for another episode of the Gym Closet. If you haven't been with us, the Gym Closet is a Krave Gym podcast. We talk about ways to live like an athlete, which is going to ultimately help you be successful, whether it's in your career, in your fitness journey, whatever the case might be. Living like an athlete makes you a better human being. And so that's what this is all about. And we share some tips and tricks along the way in order to live your life to the fullest. So today we have a bunch of really good information. We're going to recap the championship. We have a new segment that we were going to be relaunching. We used to do it, and we're going to be doing it again because it's a fun segment for everybody to, especially. And I'm surprised we haven't done it with COVID because it's one that I'm sure everybody's been binging some. If you're at home more often than not, you're binging some television. So television makes me sound old.
Yeah, right.
So
Hulu, Netflix.
Hulu, yeah, you're streaming some services
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're streaming some services. So to make me feel really old, last week, so the new season, Strength in Numbers started on Monday. The order is total, lower, upper. So TLU, and then that for some reason made me think of TRL. And so while a training session was going on, I said, or while our athletes were stretching after a training session, I said something like, "Do you guys?" And the entire gym looked at me like, "What language are you speaking?" And nobody in the gym, including Jake, has ever seen,
never heard of it.
has never heard or seen or anything TRL, which was such a staple in your daytime television
For sure.
as a kid.
MTV, TRL.
Yeah, and I was explaining to people what it was, and they were like, "Oh yeah, never heard of it." Carson Daly, nobody knew what.
But Brian White was in that, and he's the only other one that knew.
Yes,
right?
yep, yeah. How did you know?
He told me this story.
Oh, okay,
He
I already
almost
told you.
told me,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So Brian White was in there and be like, sounds makes you realize that you're kind of old, aren't you? And I was like, damn, yeah, that's the first time that I've ever been hit with I'm out of touch with this entire generation that's sitting in the gym right now. But
you're not old. We're not old.
we're not old.
You're not
Age
old.
is
It
just
is just a number. Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. So we're going to go through that. We're going to go through a new format of our cravings and all of that kind of stuff. But first, let's jump into a championship recap. So we were all at the championship. It was an awesome event.
Is that your first? Was it your first?
That was my
championship?
first championship. So
okay.
the level of competition through that was something I haven't seen here yet, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's a really good time. Starting off with both men and women, West Des Moines brought home the trophy. But even though the numbers were slightly, so the guys turned out this season.
Yeah, they showed up.
And we had, I think, 10 and 10 representing, I think we had 10 representing West Des Moines, 8 representing Waukee or whatever. So all the guys turned out. It was a really, really close, I think, 2-point difference from the guys' team events. And then the ladies weren't as represented as far as the numbers.
West Des Moines and 2 Waukee.
Yeah,
3 and 2.
Yep. So, but we had a good competition regardless, and Waukee made it close.
Yeah.
But the team events went to Well, actually, the Waukee team won their team event, but the individual scores that were added by the West Des Moines individuals that went towards their team helped them pull out the victory. So, and then a huge shout out to the women. Macy was in first place, Maddie in second place, and Lindsay in third place. So huge congratulations to you guys on our agility season championship for the women. And then the guys, we had Damon in first place, Cody in second place, and Matt in third place, which Damon and Matt were both two-time Make a Move champions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
for
they
West Des
even won
Moines
that one.
and Waukee, respectively. So it's cool to see them, and it makes my job easy because I don't even have to put their name up new. I don't even have to,
Perfect.
which is perfect. Yeah. So it makes it
Who won
really
for
easy.
females
So
last year?
last year was Amy.
Oh, yeah. Or how about here?
Here was, I'd have to double check and look. I don't remember. I think it was Lindsay Hilmer. So she got third. Yep. So I think she won it last year. So yeah, huge shout out to all the athletes that participated. It was an awesome event. It was a lot of fun. Basically, this season or last season's championship, Make a Move championship, is kind of like an NFL combine where we're doing verticals, we're doing pro agilities, we're doing broad jumps, and then we're coming together to do some team stuff. Hopefully, we'll have in the next coming championships, we will have some outdoor opportunities to get out, like we've done on the track with Make a Move before.
Fun.
So that was a lot of fun. And hopefully we have some more outdoor events that we can get into. We'll probably be opening up the trailer before long, probably at the end of March, depending on what the weather consistently. I think what I want to do is, if the weather is at 50 or higher for an entire week, that's when we launch the outdoor training sessions. So for anybody waiting for those, open air training will be starting hopefully this month sometime. So yeah, anything else about the championship?
I don't think so. Just kind of, this one reminds, like, just a lot of sitting around. I feel like waiting to go. I feel like it's I feel like it's an easier one just because there's not so much like endurance training or strength training and stuff. Easier in a different way.
I would say I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun for me. It was
Right.
just fun to be around how competitive it all was.
It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is when you're testing out your own numbers, you're basically competing against your personal best score, and then obviously competing against those around you to place in those.
Just saying, if we
get
were in
points for your
the
team.
office saying that if some of our athletes had straighter lines on their pro agility, that they would have cut off a few.
Yeah,
Big old loops
Yeah.
circling around.
yeah, those pro agility.
Get a little crazy.
I think next time Make a Move season rolls around, we'll practice that one a few times.
Right.
It would
You know, on that challenge day,
Right. It'd be
we'll coach that one up a bit better.
Right.
To see if they, like, if we took a video, if they really feel like they're moving that much, you know,
I don't
or if
think
they
they
do feel like they're just going down and back.
Right. I would assume that you feel like you're just in a straight line, or you feel like you're one step off, so then you recover, so that's why it looks like a bow.
It's like a 3 or 4 yard from line to line.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
swerving.
Yeah, so you definitely.
Or sometimes
definitely
they
fall
don't
sometimes.
just touch with the outside, they do like the inside reach. And
Yeah.
then they do like
you
a
go,
spin.
pass the line, spin, come back.
It's like, you guys are just adding seconds onto
We
that
will
clock.
practice that one, push
Right.
it up a little bit better.
Yeah.
Next time that rolls around, then hopefully see those times drop.
Definitely. So that was the championship. Congratulations to all the winners, and we'll be having the trophies over at West Des Moines with some new names on the trophy. Well, I guess old names that have been there before, but yeah. So we'll have those updated and stay in West Des Moines for this season until next championship,
next.
which is our Strength in Numbers championship. So we'll be doing. Now let's get into our. Do we want to do our couch potato? What do we want to do? Word of the week.
Word of the week.
All right,
Let's
so-
finish with all. Let's get to the serious stuff.
Okay, serious stuff first. I like that. So we're going to be doing the word of the week is something that we're concentrating on all season is power, and so power is defined obviously if we're taking it in the strength context and working with our strength in numbers. The power is basically work over time, and work is distance times weight. So basically, power equals how heavy can you move something and how fast can you move it from A to B. So what you put on the bar matters, and how fast you can move it matters. And we talked about it a little bit last week on kind of our goal for the strength in this season, but we're doing 6 to 8 reps. So it's a little light, or it will be a little lighter than our 4 to 6 rep live to lift season, because we want you to be able to move that weight fast and think about it fast. And we touched a little bit on it. If you're mentally focusing on that speed of movement, then we're accomplishing that goal, whether you're going super fast or super accelerating or not. That's the goal of it. But as far as word of the week, we always kind of try to relate it to life and more than just inside of the gym. And so the power that we want to talk about today is kind of the power that you have as an individual. And the definition that we have that kind of relates to that is the ability to act or have influence over, whether that's influence over other people, being a powerful, human being in the workplace or whatever the case might be, or having the power to, having power over your own mental state and your own actions and all of those things that you can have power over and that you can control. And a lot of when we're looking for some of these quotes, a lot of what it is how much power, if you know that you have the power, and if you know that you can mind state that you're in or control the way that you think about things, then that power exists for you. As soon as you think that you don't have that power, as soon as you lose sight of being able to control that power, that's when you might feel hopeless. You might not be able to control your emotions or control your the way you're thinking. But today we just want to concentrate on you do have the power. And the reason, one of the quotes that we did come across that we're going to use this week is, no one is you, and that's your power. Ourselves to others, both in the gym and outside of the gym, are looking for, how do I compare to others? And if I don't compare in a certain way, I don't feel adequate in that realm or in that movement, or at work I don't feel powerful because I don't attribute the same things that somebody next to me may attribute. But what's powerful about everything that you're doing in those is that you as an individual have things to offer that others can't, because they're not you. And I think the big thing, you can't lose sight of the fact that you have things to offer that no one else can. And as soon as you take that knowledge and identify that you have that individual knowledge, as soon as you use that, you become more powerful, and you're starting to see what you can offer and ways that you can work what you have, and being creative in who you are, and not worrying about trying to be someone else. That's when you're going to be, you're going to control what you want to control. You're going to be able to offer your boss what you're able, more, because if Jimmy's trying to compete and try to do, for example, you're trying to do a presentation, and you're trying to do it just like your buddy over here, but that's what he's really good at, and that's not what you're really good at, then you're gonna be trying to do something that you're not gonna have that power, But if you do that presentation in a way that exhibits your strengths and lets the people know around you that you're doing it for with your strengths in mind, you can tell that in that presentation. You know what I mean? So the things that we want to concentrate on this week, the action steps that we want to concentrate on, is just identify some of the things that you do well in your life, whether that's, talk about in the gym, right? There's some people that do really well in strength season, some people that do really well in agility season, some people do really well in endurance season, and they don't do as well in some of the other seasons. So knowing that that's who you are, you can always improve on some of the things you don't do as well, but really highlight your attributes, and the power that you have is to take, if I'm really good at strength, I can put all of my, I can put a lot of effort into this season and showing how good at strength season I am. But then like last season or next season, I know that I might not win some championships because I'm predominantly good at strength. Next season's endurance season, which everybody knows already. I think everybody already knows. So next season's endurance season. So I might not be as good at endurance. So this season I better capitalize on what I'm really good at. That's my power. But then, next season, I know that I'm going to have to work harder to achieve some goals that maybe I'm not as good at, but I can't then compare myself to a marathon runner in my endurance season, just like they can't compare to a strength, a power lifter or someone that's stronger in strength season. And so that's again what I think is beautiful about Krave and the way that we do seasons is that just like any team, and I know we've said this a bunch, but I always want to reiterate, just like any team, there's a place for, I always talk about football because that's what I played. So there's always a place for the lineman, 300-pound, big and ugly, right? They're not going to be running routes. They're not going to be running as fast as the running backs, the receivers. But guess what? The receivers are 180 pounds and run a 4.4. They're not going to be able to block another guy that's 300 pounds. And so there's a place on the team for everybody, and knowing your skills and what you're good at is the ultimate power that you have. And so that's kind of the sports analogy for it. But this week, think about what you offer, not necessarily in sports or body type or physically at the gym like we were talking about, but what you offer in work, in life, to your kids. I know with us, our kids right now are at a point, and they have been, I guess, for the last year or so. They're at a point where
they're driving us batshit crazy.
That's very true. But they're
totally
playing with the kids, right?
Yes.
So like right now in the season of our kids' life, I'm not as good at playing, whatever flashcards or playing little toys on the floor. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't get on the floor that easy anymore. But two, like that imagination kind of game, I'm not really good at. You're better at it. Grandma's really good at it. Nana is amazing at it, right? So those are all really good. But as soon as they get a little bit older, but if they want to wrestle, if they want to play physical, if they want to play catch, whatever the case might be, that's when I excel, and that's that's what I'm really good at with my kids. And so I understand that on some of the stuff I'm not as good at, but I'm going to really identify the stuff that I am good at and try to do that as much as possible. You know what I mean? And I think that kind of gives a good dynamic as far as like our parenting goes. But think about that in every aspect of your life. What are you really good at? Amplify those, and then get better at some of the other things that you're not as good at. And that's going to be kind of the power that we have, that we talk about with this week's word.
And I think a lot of the conversation we have is being an athlete. Some people are intimidated by that word because they think they have to come in and run the fastest, jump the highest, lift the most weights. But there's so much more, like the word power, that goes into being an athlete. That mental power and the mindset of just being an athlete. I mean, that is a whole nother dynamic. It's almost more important than your physical power that you have at the gym is, okay, when you start to feel that fatigue, can you mentally push yourself through and finish, And so I just think that,
that's powerful.
It's powerful. Yeah. So it's just an all around, how you carry on this with your entire life.
So I like the way you put that with the mental power, from a physical standpoint. We're also obviously focusing on it this season, building that physical power. But I don't think there's anything stronger in this world than an individual's mental power. You can do all sorts of things physically, but if you don't have the mental, power to push yourself through a tough situation, whatever physical tools you have built up isn't going to
help.
do you a whole lot. It's,
Right.
Every battle that you face is a mental battle in some sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You might have the physical tools again to push yourself through anything, but if you don't believe you can up here, in your head, then
Right.
it's almost
Or
worthless.
it's just like
So
when you
it's-
have another rep left, or you feel like
Right.
you can't add 5 more pounds on.
Yeah.
Well, then if you think you can't do that, then your physical power is
Well,
never going to
and-
grow
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you feel like mentally.
Think about how powerful our mind is. That like in a lot of studies they give a placebo out or a sugar pill compared to like a medicine that's supposed to solve something, and your mind actually can solve that ailment. Or like if I took a sugar pill that I thought was like a painkiller, my mind could actually like solve that pain, which is amazing that the placebo effect really works, and that shows us how powerful our mind is. And if we can actually harness a little bit of that and know, yes, I'm gonna, and that's what I think the coaches help with too, is we have like unbridled confidence in a lot of our athletes, where we're like, no, you can definitely go 10 pounds heavier, and they're like, no, I know that I can't, and then they do it and they're like, oh shit, yeah, I can.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I can go 10 pounds heavier than that, because where's the limit? I don't know. Let's find it. You know what I mean?
So one quote I always think of when it comes to that is, whether you think you can or you can't, you're always right.
Yeah.
So I think, you brought it up, being, coaching here and coaching your athletes through a lot of that stuff. That's one thing I really enjoy is, it's awesome to work with people that you're like, I can do this, I can do that, and, pushing them even further, but it's even, better to help unlock that person's, oh, I can't do that, I can't add that much weight, I can't hit that box jump or something like that, helping them unlock that mental block, and then it's like all of a sudden they're the, oh, I can do this, I can do that type of person.
Yeah, because that not only
really, really fun.
carries with them for that hour, but then they carry that on with them when they leave the gym too, that they
It's
can
a super confidence.
yeah, for sure.
We talked about it a little bit last week too, with box jumps being kind of the transition of power, and jumping up and your vertical is going to be a sign of power. But how many times have you seen, I love the box jump analogy in this aspect with like the mental power, because how many times have you like wanted to jump up on and stopped yourself? You know what I mean? And because you don't think you can get it,
Especially when we had those metal.
right. Well, that's you're more scared
I've
of
had a
injury
bad
than that.
story with those. So.
Oh my
There's been I've
word.
had several
I see some
started
of
up.
our, because we did some advertisements like when we first opened, and like there's Matt Neek, or whatever is that.
Yeah, right.
He was jumping over these like metal, and I'm just like, that looks like an accident. Like if I saw that ad, I'd be like, no, because I'm gonna join that gym and die.
Right.
Yeah, me and my scarred shins do not like those metal boxes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the mental toughness with these boxes now helps a lot.
Oh,
like
exactly.
the power to be able to
definitely.
try it, without like
Right.
hurting yourself.
Well, you know that you're not going to get hurt.
Yes.
That's
fall
one of
down.
those mental
Yes.
blocks
Yes.
that you're already, we eliminated that one for you.
Yes.
Right. But I mean, and that's the thing is you run up to this height and you stop and you're like, I don't know if I can do it, until you just shut that off, or tell yourself that you can, or tell yourself that I'm going to jump no matter what. I'm going to jump as high as I can, and whether I make it or not, it doesn't matter.
Right.
When I try it. And so that's the box jump when it comes to power and the power of mental power and those type of things is a really cool example, because there's so many times I've seen athletes that you can literally see their mental the steps they're going through in their head. You can see them overthinking about something, and they're like, nope, I'm not gonna make it, and then they don't jump, and then the next time you're like, just go, or you have to like talk someone into it, and then they make the jump, or then they at least try, whether they make it or not, they jump up and actually try. So concentrate on power this week, and identify your power as an individual, and then really try to work on that mental power when you're in the gym, hitting that next rep, making sure that you the actual definition of power, make sure that you're actually working with speed every time that you do it. And if you're mentally going through speed every single rep, then that's going to help train the physical power that you need. But in order to unlock the physical power and use the physical power, you have to have the mental power. So that's our word of the week. Let's go into our craving. So the
Number of cravings. Did you participate in
I
the
have not.
cravings? Did you vote?
Did you
I
vote?
voted in quite a few of them.
Yeah.
This is like the first one I've gotten to talk about.
Did
Yes.
you go to the Crave one and vote, or did you vote on like one of our personal ones?
I think I was voting off the Crave one.
Crave. Okay,
I
awesome.
think.
That's where we want people to go.
Yeah.
So
So this will only be on the Crave Instagram. and Facebook or not? This
Yes,
Krave story,
yeah.
because
You
it's
can
on.
share
I'm
it
just
on
voting
there.
off of Facebook, so
Yeah,
that's where.
so it'll be on Krave Facebook and Krave Instagram. That's the only one that it's going to be going on. And we are going to be doing, instead of like a tournament bracket style with 8 different participants, we're going to be doing more of like an this or that. So we're just going to be doing a one vote type of thing, but we're going to add a comment section below it.
So if you want to leave comments, you can.
So this is what
your
we
choices.
want. Yeah, we want more external voices when we talk about this, because some of the conversations that we have about it, there's probably a lot of drama when it comes to who's favorite, whatever,
and why it's a favorite.
and why it's a favorite. But we don't see any of that by just voting. And so we wanted to add another dynamic part of it. So we want to add the comment part of it so that you can vote for your favorite energy drink, whether it's Monster or Bang, and tell us why. And so that will give us a little bit more context and a little bit more copy that
I'm
we
glad
can talk
Jake
about. So.
decided to join
So
us
it's like the
because
perfect interview to join.
I can't have an energy drink, and I've always been Team Monsters.
Right.
But before I was pregnant, I tried a Bang one time. I'm like, wow, like I feel pretty darn good. But then I realized how much caffeine was in it, and
Right.
I was like on a whole nother level of like, okay, I don't know if I really like this or not.
You just had super
But the
mental
flavor, yeah, maybe
power.
Untapped energy.
something. But so I like the Monster because it didn't give me like as much like.
Just like bouncing off.
But
the
I like
walls
the
with it.
flavor of the white Monsters are awesome, and the
Yeah.
orange
And the
ones are
blue.
really good. Blue is not my fave.
So to start
Right,
off,
yeah.
to start this off, I only do whatever the diet on calorie-free Monsters or Bang. The reason I only do that is because I don't like wasting my carbs on 36 to like 60, like 30 to
probably
60
something crazy.
grams per energy drink that you can have as far as like pure sugar,
yeah.
which is not bad if you fit it into your macros. The problem though is that if you get 30 to 60 grams of carbs from a single drink that's not filling you up, you don't get to enjoy 30 or 60 grams of food that are carbs in a different facet. So that's why I choose the calorie-free ones. That's why I would suggest for most people the calorie-free ones, because not that sugar is bad, but if you have 60 grams of sugar from that, most likely you're not going to limit or not going to want to limit 60 grams from your diet elsewhere. So keep that in mind. When I'm talking about Monsters, I talk about the white, the blue, and
Orange.
there's
You don't like
red.
orange, do you? There's red, there's
Orange,
purple.
I'm not a big fan
Yeah.
of, because I'm not a big fan of the other one. But I'm also Team Monster. I've had Bangs
I'm over here by
before,
myself on Team
but-
Bang.
Well, I think there's going to be a lot
Jake
of bangs
is
coming through.
Team
though.
Bang, and
Because if Zach was here, he'd be Team Bang.
Yeah, he
for
probably
sure.
would be too.
he is. Yep. And I'm going to try to pull people over to Team Monster by just letting you know how much caffeine is actually consumed by Jake in a given day when he's
Throw me under the
drinking 2
bus in
Bangs.
front of everybody
Yes,
here.
yes. So if I have 2 Monsters,
That's the chance you take.
my
when you
2
come on the
Monsters
podcast.
probably equal the 1 Bang that he might, because I think there's 150 or 170 grams or milligrams of
I'll look
caffeine
it up.
in.
Wait, so you drink
in
2 Monsters a day?
No, I drink.
Oh.
But if I drank 2, it would
probably
equal
Okay.
my one.
because I think it's
Bang.
about half the amount of caffeine.
I was gonna say there's.
But if you need that caffeine, that gives you a jump. I mean, the floor is yours if you want to try to.
See,
pick up
the
for your
thing
Bang.
is, I don't know if I can defend my caffeine intake because I know it's probably not
a problem.
healthy.
It's probably a problem.
It's probably a problem with, but I feel like if you work in a gym or fitness industry and you strength and conditioning coach, I feel like that's just part of the job is you develop a caffeine addiction. Whether it's
Right.
good or bad, I feel like that's
That's
just
the
like your
truth, though, yeah.
stereotypical coach. You develop that caffeine addiction. I think
Right.
I'm
You have
right
to
on
stay
pace
up.
with that.
Yeah,
So no, I don't think I can defend my caffeine intake.
sure.
But I think what got me hooked on Bang more than anything is I just like the flavor of it so much better than any other energy drink I've tried.
Okay. And you've tried all the
I've tried. I don't know if I've tried like all the Monsters and stuff like that. I've definitely like jumped into like Rain or like I said, I tried the Ghost ones. I know we're not talking about those, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The flavor of Bang for me is just like, oh, I actually really enjoy drinking that.
So what's your favorite flavor of Bang?
I'm like a blue raz fan. Anything blue raspberry flavored is usually good for me.
Sure.
So that's why I like Bang. Is everything else I've tried just tastes like syrup to me, and Bang doesn't.
Okay.
I guess the caffeine, I just have to. It's like the negative side effect of liking those drinks.
Great tasting
energy drinks.
So there's 300 milligrams of caffeine in a Bang.
And there are days that
and there's like 160 in a
160 in a Monster.
So yeah, when Tyler drinks his 2 in a day, he gets my 1 Bang caffeine wise.
And sometimes
there are some days where, you know, I'm here from the 5 a.m. class till that 6:30 class where I'm like, I need to.
Yeah, and that's what's funny is like the reason I choose Monster is because one, I love the flavor, and the flavor's good enough for me to think about the caffeine. And then the caffeine thing is I do a pre-workout, so usually I'll do like
coffee in the morning.
I'll do coffee in the morning, and then I do a Bang, or then I do a Monster mid-morning. But then in the afternoon, if I'm working out in the afternoon, I have a pre-workout that usually has anywhere from 200 to 300 milligrams there. So I'm thinking if I replace my energy drink with like if I would do a Bang instead of Monster, now I just added like 150 milligrams for nothing, and I already get, you know, I'm already getting plenty. So
that's the one thing about pregnancy, like you just got to cut all that out. Isn't that crazy?
So if I had to do that, I would have like probably a week or 2 straight of like unbearable headaches.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like falling asleep in the middle of coaching a class.
Yeah, that would be...
Coaching a what?
A team session. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't mean to throw the C word out there.
Yeah, the C word is a bad
Force of habit. Sorry guys. Team session.
Yes.
We'll leave that one out.
Yeah, but I miss. Sometimes I'll take like sips of his, and I'm like, oh, this tastes so good.
Yeah.
But
I suppose if I hadn't had him for months on a time,
it tastes almost better. Like I can't wait to have my first like pre-workout too, because it just like
you're gonna be bouncing off the walls when that comes back.
Yeah. That's true.
You get a chance to do that.
That's true. Yeah. So we will be putting that out for a vote. We'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll be able to
flavors.
talk about.
I hear magical unicorn.
I haven't tried that one.
I hear that one's pretty good.
I usually stick to like the same 3 or 4 flavors.
Yeah.
The ones I like tend to be the most popular anyways, so sometimes I have to go down the list. Like I said, Blue Raz is my favorite. Rose is a good one.
Okay.
Lemon Drop tastes just like Sprite.
Nice.
So those are probably my top 3. I haven't tried too much else outside of that.
We had a conversation about this the other day about cost effective wise, because I mean if you're drinking 2 or 3 of 2 of those or 1 a day.
I buy them by the case.
Do you buy them at Costco?
I buy them at Hy-Vee by the case, so I'll get like 12 at a time.
So you should get them at Costco.
I don't have a Costco membership.
Well, we go there a lot, so if you want us to pick you up something.
But
you get a variety pack, so you can't be. I know.
It's like
I don't
3.
know if you'd like that.
You get 3 different ones. So it depends on what the 3 is. But anyway.
Maybe I'll just have to expand my flavor palette.
There you go.
But it's cheaper to go to the gas station and buy them when they have like the 3 for $5. Right?
So it's right now they have on energy drinks they have 3 for $5, but then they have get your 10th one free. So that actually made it like 20 cents cheaper if you do one every day. But anyway. We went down the rabbit hole.
No, they like these little money saving
There we go.
There we go.
That shit adds up. It's like going to Starbucks every day and you're like, damn.
Yeah.
That adds up after a while. So if you love
I would say, I guess I'd rather have like a caffeine addiction fed through energy drinks than spending like $6 on a cup of coffee every day. At somewhere like Starbucks or something like that. I guess that's what got me started on energy drinks. Is like in college, all my roommates drank coffee, and I hated the flavor of it. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna stay up all night with you guys, I'm gonna have to go down the energy drink route.
Right.
Here we are 2 years later.
That's awesome.
Caffeine
That's
addiction.
so sad that you were in college 2 years ago.
Right.
I was in college a year ago.
A year ago, yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
The young one,
so now we're gonna get into our next segment, which is our couch potato. So we did couch potato for a long time, and we just for some reason I found our old segment sheet. Actually, that's one thing that reminded me of it. But our couch potato is basically what are you going to sit and
binge?
Crazy
on couch potato too, so I mean I am surprised.
Yeah, we loved it. I don't know why we forgot about it. So couch potato is basically a what's binge worthy, what's worth watching right now, or what have we been watching, and suggestions on anything. So in the comments, if anyone wants to leave some comments for us to talk about or to bring up, feel free to bring those up. But one of the couch potatoes that I had, actually, I think it was the 2020. Was it a 2020 documentary deal? Is that what it was?
Sorry.
New York Times. What?
Bob Carlson said rain. The energy.
Rain. He likes the rain energy.
Rain, I guess. Bob Carlson.
That's similar. I think that's a bang.
It's
bang
like similar to
caffeine.
yeah. I think it's like 275, maybe 250.
Oh, is it a little bit less?
I don't think it's quite 300, but
I'll keep this up in case people
Okay,
check.
cool. Yeah.
So the Britney Spears thing.
The
Sorry.
Britney Spears.
Yeah.
It's the New York Times thing. So there's like 6 episodes, and only 1 episode is Britney Spears. But the Free Britney Spears movement and all that I had no idea about is crazy.
Have you seen it?
I haven't like watched anything on it, but I've seen like different stories about it online.
Yeah.
Where
It's
she's like
nuts. I didn't know that there was. I feel
She's
bad
in-
for her. Like
she's
her
in
dad's like a
conservative-
psycho. Her dad.
I don't know.
is-
Who knows? I mean,
I don't know the
Okay,
the true story of it, but
Yeah. I
it
don't
sounds
know why
so
really
it's a
sketchy.
conservative ship. So it's a conservative ship, and so she basically her dad has the rights to her money and her career and
Like when she can see her kids and
Yeah.
like.
and what
everything.
that is normally used for is for someone that is not of the mental state to take care of himself, or like which a lot of times is like an elderly person that has Alzheimer's or whatever. So
Right.
so the conservator is supposed to have the best interest of the conservatee. It's a conservative.
And sometimes, like in the video, I
crazy.
could see her like how she went into a dark path and like she got kind of crazy.
Mhm.
But I think living in Hollywood and being in the eyes of everybody all the time, I think that kind of made her.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but that's what you sign
But
up for.
so
I guess.
the thing that
but
was
some of the
interesting
things
to
she
me-
would do, I'm like, yeah, you seem kind of crazy. But then sometimes I'm like, no, maybe she's just normal, but we just
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Her Instagram is,
Her
is
Instagram
pretty
is-
nuts right now. But like the thing that's interesting to me is that they just had a court case like last month, I guess, and that was in the documentary that that they asked for the conservatorship to be re-looked at as like a business because she's making so much money still in her career, and she basically said that she until her dad's not in charge of her stuff, she won't
do it.
she's putting her career on hold. And so like the court and her dad said that there's like, for someone that's so functional in their career, like she's able to make decisions in her career and be the CEO of Britney, whatever, but she's not able to like not have a conservatorship. That's what's interesting to me is there's
So money is
they're,
probably
they're
just
basically saying that
getting paid to these.
they're basically saying that she's so coherent in her career that it should be renegotiated as a business because so much money is coming in, but she's not coherent enough to not have one of these, which is just weird.
That doesn't make any sense. I feel like it.
Well, and I don't like her mom. I don't know why her mom doesn't maybe step in. Maybe
I don't
she
know.
can't. I don't know. It's just a whole. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's what
back
we
to
do.
the-
I try to
But
stay out of like the
that's what-
Hollywood drama
Right.
type stuff. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It gets too
yeah.
wild
It's too
sometimes.
wild.
Some
There's
things
probably
are
a lot we
interesting,
don't know about,
but
but-
some
But-
things are just
but
get
yeah,
too
so-
wild.
So that's like the one thing that we were binging. Are you guys watching
Well,
anything else?
You know me. I don't really love
You don't.
TV.
Yeah.
I
Other than
don't
The
know
Bachelor.
why. The Bachelor, yeah. So The Bachelor, I've been watching.
I'm not caught up right now,
Me
so
either. I didn't watch last night.
I think I'm
so.
like 2 episodes behind
Are you?
right now,
Yeah.
just because.
And that was a whole another thing with. I think that Chris Harrison's done now. I think.
Yeah, they replaced him.
Oh, is he?
They replaced
I don't know.
him.
I mean, I'm assuming he's on at least a couple more episodes. I mean,
Yeah.
for the season, I'm guessing
Because
they filmed
yeah,
it already.
but-
because somebody was like filming it last night and said, "Don't worry, this is a replay."
I would say
from
it's most of it's
before
like
it all
already
happened."
filmed,
Yeah.
but yeah, they replaced.
But that
him, I
was
think
that
it's,
girl that did it. She's still my favorite. I like her. I don't
On
know.
the show.
Yeah, she was one
You
at the
think
very
she'll-
beginning.
So
I
you
know.
don't know? You haven't.
I haven't
looked-
watched it. I haven't looked up.
But you
anything.
haven't looked up because
No.
do they have like
There's like
spoilers?
spoilers and stuff.
Do you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
look up the
No,
spoilers
I
at all?
don't.
No, I try to stay
I
away
would
from
be-
that. Like I said,
like,
I'm not
if
like
like a-
super invested in it
Yeah.
because
No, but
I
still, I
watch
don't
it for
wanna
like.
know.
But I'm like, it is kind of fun.
We are.
'cause
I guess we talked about
we
this
talked
last
about this
week.
last
Yeah.
week. I
Yeah.
watch it for fun to like make fun of how
Yeah.
like dramatic it can
So,
get.
so this
so
he kind
true.
of changed my mind though. So he the way that he put it
Oh,
is
here we go.
that he watches it as entertainment because it's entertaining to him to as much of a dumpster fire as this is.
Exactly.
fire.
So
I
like,
could care less.
so like
anyway.
that like if I look at it through that lens, I might be able to participate in watching it a little bit more.
Oh, that's
as-
a bunch of
as
bullshit. Because you
entertainment.
watch it with me.
I watch it with you because I'm sitting in front of the TV and
But then he's like,
watch
wait,
it.
what
something
did
else
she
to do.
say? What did they do? Like, what happened in that episode where this happened? And I'm
Right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
so you want to know some more
If you
about
frame it
this.
as like
I
a
do,
comedy
yeah.
skit almost, it's
That's
a lot.
true.
It's very enjoyable.
But it
You
is.
just,
It's just
Through that lens,
like
I
that
think
one
it looks
crazy
funny.
girl that was on there. Like they just left her on for.
Oh my, that was really. I actually got heated at that. I'm like, why is she still here?
Yeah, like that.
She's still
She
here.
has a lot of
Was she the
dramas.
queen that took
Yes,
the
the
crown?
queen.
Yes,
Yes.
the queen.
Yeah,
What
I
was
remember
name?
her.
Victoria.
Victoria.
It's so. But
Big
if you
boy.
frame it as like a comedy skit, almost, it's really.
So
really
do you like
funny
it
to watch.
better when it's like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, or do you not?
I don't know. So I've only ever watched. I just got into this like last spring. I started watching The Bachelor last spring with like all my friends at college, and that's how I got into it.
Yeah.
So I watched The Bachelorette this time around, and that one was a wild, weird season. So I don't know really if I got
Oh,
a
yeah.
fair
Did you
experience
think
on
of
that
it?
one
Yeah.
since
Yeah.
they had to switch midway through.
True.
I like the
But-
Bachelorette
Because there's more
More?
like
because
women are just more. Oh wait, you like them when there's more men on there?
when there's more men on there because and I might not if I look at it
Anymore.
through
There's
this
less drama.
lens.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's drama no
less
matter
drama
what, but there's.
than or like there's just the women in that house get cackling at each other and just attack each other so
Yes.
much that it becomes
it's-
more about the house of girls versus like the
What they're
the
there for.
guy. Whereas the opposite is true is you just see a bunch of guys like puffing their chest out, which is
Working
kind of funny
out,
to me.
doing push-ups.
And,
Yep.
and you have less drama in the house, but more drama between the actual relationship
Yeah.
of the guy and girl. So
Yeah.
that's the reason I look. But I think if I watch this now through a different lens, I think
Yes.
I'm gonna be.
All right.
Because I was
I'm gonna
always
like-
like,
I'm gonna think I'm
no
gonna like
way
the
I'll
crazy
ever watch this
cattiness.
show. This show is so stupid. Why would I want to watch like a dating contest?
Yeah.
Right?
And then I started watching it, and I'm like, if you frame it as something that's supposed to be funny, you
Yeah.
don't take it serious, it's
Then
actually
it's-
quite
yeah.
enjoyable.
Because it's like, how are they really gonna last? Like, you know.
Yeah, they like never do. So.
No.
What else? Anything else that we got?
Bridgerton.
I don't.
That's
watch
like a
it.
big one. That's
Have
like
you watched
a really
No, I guess I'm not like on Netflix too much at the moment. I've been
Is
like
that a
anything I
Netflix one?
binge is on
Yeah.
Disney Plus right now.
Yeah.
I got all like
Ooh,
Star
okay,
Wars
so-
and Star Wars and Marvel is kind of
That's
like my thing.
Those are always
so.
a good ones. So I did watch something that, and this was a couple weeks ago. So I watched something that I watched when I was young, and again, this is going to age me. But for anybody out there that has watched Brink, which is like an inline skating movie, with those with like X Blades and like the Soul Skaters. That's a movie that I
Glad I was
rewatched.
sleeping.
I rewatched it and totally holds up. Great movie still
Okay.
in today's world,
I
which
believe
is
you.
which was so funny. But I watched that, and if you watched that as a kid, go rewatch it. It's on Disney Plus, and it holds up. I enjoyed it.
It's funny because like Pierce will sometimes want to watch Aladdin, and I lived on Aladdin growing up. Like I love that show. But you just look at the animation now of like these new movies that are out compared to
It's
that.
crazy.
It's crazy. But I wonder if like he notices or like kids like
Yeah, they notice like, oh, that one was made in 1999 and this
Right.
one was made in
Yeah,
2018.
or if they just
There's
don't
the-
even notice the like
I feel like
I think they do. You want to know the reason why?
why.
Watching Kung Fu Panda,
Uh-huh.
they have a dream. They dream in like not 3D animation, like
It's like 2D.
like old school animation,
Mhm.
right? But then in the regular cartoon, they are like the really vivid 3D animation.
Okay.
And so when it came on to a dream, Pierce was like mad because he thought it was kind of like because he probably saw it was a different animation. So and he didn't understand that it was
Oh,
a dream.
right.
And so I think that he thought that it wasn't the right movie.
Because yeah, that makes
Because
sense.
the movie started off in a dream, and he was like, "This isn't the
Movie
this
that
isn't
I've
the one I
seen.
want.
That
I don't
doesn't
want
look-
the
yeah.
I want the 3D like I want the panda that you can see, you know."
Right.
And then he's like looking through this 2D animation panda, and that doesn't make sense. So so I think that he can probably tell a difference
Yeah.
because all of the stuff that he likes is like Pixar and all those.
Oh yeah,
like
for
the
sure.
brand, like the new age,
The
like
new-
3D
yeah, right,
animation type
The
stuff.
other thing that I'm super excited about with Couch Potato is it gives us an excuse to actually watch something each week and bring our experience versus because if we don't, we strictly watch cartoons
Yeah.
with Pierce. So
Well, no, I cut that. We put the kibosh to that Monday, yesterday.
yesterday we cut it
We're
off.
on day two
here's
now.
the thing. The kid had tonsil surgery, so I'm like, oh honey, you get whatever you want. You want this, you can have this. You want to watch TV at 6 in the morning? Go right ahead, just to get his mind off of stuff. So now his butt wakes up at 6 and he's like, pets. I'm like, no, you're not watching pets at 6
This
in
is
the
a sign
morning.
language for dog. So
Yes.
he always comes, pets,
And he's
pets.
like, I'm like, no, you're not doing that today. So now he's been good. Him and Sissy played all morning. He didn't watch any TV.
Awesome.
So I'm trying to just slowly
Until knee surgery, then he's
then
it's
knee
gonna be
surgery comes and we'll have to do
story.
that again. But we were super guilty of letting him watch a lot of cartoons. Thankfully, he doesn't like the same movies. He kind of mixes it up.
So you're not watching the same
so
one
it's
like
not the
right.
same.
He likes so many of them.
5 times a week.
Yeah.
He likes, because I know some kids get stuck on one, and so you'll watch 173 times in a row until they find a new one that they watch 173 times in a row. So,
Yes.
anyway, so I'm super excited about Couch Potato. Glad to bring it back. So we will be reporting if anybody has any things that they have binged or watched, whether it's a series or a movie or a documentary. Let us know. We'll do some research and we'll report back
Maybe
to you.
the craving for next week can be like not this movie, the next Hulu or Netflix, and then in the comments you can put like what shows people are like.
Nice,
you go.
combine them. I like where your head's at. This is getting deep. I love it. All right, well, awesome. Thank you. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for listening. Thanks for checking in. Make sure that we are concentrating on power, our word of the week. And remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
Bye guys.
Born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.